Hey guys, what's up? Another teardown underway. Second one this week. This is on my rig this time. This is a scratch build truck I did about 3 years ago. It's had all kinds of different renditions of motors and ESC combos in it. And it's due for some work here. So currently it's got an XLX2 with the new 1721 1260 kV in it, running a Traxxas RX, a Traxxas radio. Used to have a Futaba in it. This truck here, it's a little bit of a pain though, because the RX is underneath the plate here. I gotta bind it to my new radio. My 4-channel that I was using is wore out, so I have to pull this off anyway, so I may as well do a teardown. My center diff's getting a little bit lazy, so it needs some new fluid, and I'm gonna swap out the gears to a nice set of spiral cuts I got here. These are old stock Traxxas numbers, so we're gonna put these into it. And it used to have these are the Proline 18mm hubs, and I switched it over recently to the M2Cs. It's hanging on the new mini WFO motor mount, and I made my own custom gear cover for it. Actually, my pinion came loose on the weekend, but the gear cover, the way I cut it out, it was able to actually hold the pinion. It was just clicking, didn't fall off. It held on with the way that's cut there. That was kind of cool. The fan is connected to a third battery, which the light is hooked up to as well. So if there's any interruption in that and the light goes out, I know my cooling system's down and I need to check it. Aluminum shock caps, all dyed black, dual tie bar mod, front and back, RPM wheelie bar, and that's about it. Oh, my custom battery tie downs, which I notched into the Nerf bars here and bolted down here. This works really, really well. I like it. Haven't lost the battery with this setup. Goes like that, and then the notched battery holders goes in like that. Oh. Pops in, and then that goes in for even more added security. It's like that. So we'll do our standard teardown. We'll pull out the upper bumper support bolts here, the 4 skid plate bolts. The skids will come right off. 4 corners will come off with the shocks here. Unfortunately, it's a little bit bigger job because I have the dual tie bar mod. So wrench, Allen head, pin here, corner off. I'm going to rebuild the shocks as well. And it's going to get a new bell crank because this one's getting a little bit lazy, because this truck typically runs trenchers on it. I do have a set of backflips that I'm going to try on it. I never tried those tires. That's about it. So I'll get this tore down and we'll see what everything looks like inside. Alright, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 bolts for the chassis brace are out. I always like to make note of that. The bumpers are disconnected now. Oh, except my bumper light. I gotta get that unplugged. And our chassis brace and our diff cutter, skid plates are off now. And just checking it out for any cracks. Looks good. Still out rocks and debris. Okay, now we'll get the corners off next. All right. Nuts are off the dual tie bar mod. I'll just pull pins.
Viewer discretion is advised.
And make everything so much easier to work on. That. No damage. No damage, just dirt.
Subject matter and scenes of violence intended for adult audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
We'll see how the dual tie bar mod survived. Forgot to undo the steering. Cat hair everywhere. Next to my guard cat. Guard cat. Alright. Like that. Like that. The next thing I gotta do is take it outside and blow all this off. Don't like to use water because it just gets into the bearings. She is pretty dirty though, holy cow. I bet you those bearings are cooked. Oh, look at the drive cups, hey. I have to get a new set of those. Or we'll just flip them. I think they're due for a flip. All right. Okay, let's see how easy we, look at that. Ooh. Cool. Normally, or usual, most of the time you go to take these out and the dust, the little fine dust gets under here so bad, you just can't get this out. Look at that. Beautiful. I love it when a plan comes together. Quite a bit of wiring in this rig, eh? That's where I keep the micro switch for my third channel. Turning my fans on and off helps them stay alive when I land upside down.
When we listen, we are
yeah, she's pretty grimy. She was due. So I think now I'm gonna take it out, blow it all off. I'll lift the ESC off, bind the new radio, put it back down because I'm not going to worry. I don't need to do nothing with any of the electronics. It's all good. Pull the modules apart and change the bearings and pack my center diff and put the new spiral cuts in and then build a new suspension. And that'll be it. All right. Compressor's turned off. It's all cleaned up. Well, not clean, but dust is blown off. Now we're going to try to get some area here to work. First off, take shock towers off and lift my ESC up so I can press the bind button. All this just so I can get in there to press the bind button to get it hooked up to the other radio. Then we'll carry on with the rebuild. We're going to do diff shimming again too, because I've had these in. I had them in the white X-Maxx over there a couple years ago. They did in that truck need a shim, so I'm expecting they'll need a shim in this one too. Here we go. All this to bind a new radio. Well, no. Maintenance too. Well, there it is. Hooked up to the new one. So this setup here, I should have did a build on this, but I didn't. So we'll run through it quick now. This used to have a B&M motor mount with a 1100 kV and a Max 6 and a Max 5. And this is the B&M RX relocator, which I've had to do a few modifications to get it to work decently. They don't let you mount them nice and flat, so you get a nice flat mount with the plate. You have to countersink these screws so they're completely flat, so just a bigger drill bit, countersink them. And then even the amount of 3D printing that's in here, these screws, I had to grind them. I don't know if you notice, I ground a bit of the top of the head off so that I could get them completely flat, so that the ESC mounts flat. And you want it to mount flat. You don't want any kind of a rock or anything underneath it, because if it does, it's just going to break the case of the ESC. It's not going to like that. It gets enough abuse just in its regular life. It doesn't need anything else added to it. So I drilled a hole through here to run to my external micro switch for my fans. I could have put the micro switch in here, but just in case I ever had problems with it, it's easier to do maintenance on it out here. So these two, I had to enlarge these holes because they didn't line up with the original RX holes, and they had it set up, I think, a little different than I did. I had to get these long screws to put through the back of the box and thread the chassis to accept them. And that's it there. Nice and tight and no rocking. There. So now we can change our differentials and change our oil in our center diff. It's a nice setup though. I like this. That's a little bit closer view of, I threaded little eye bolt brackets, I guess, and then hogged out the little slot for the Velcro straps in there. And when I come through the box there with the antenna to sit up on top of the chassis brace right here. The not so glamorous part of RCing. Getting the 20 million out of your center diff.
Now, you can do something about it. CardioMobile, the personal ECG device, allows you to take an ECG anytime, anywhere using your smartphone.
Time consuming and messy.
And see your results in just 30 seconds. And you can email your ECG to your doctor.
Still digging away at this mess. This is the crappiest part, especially when you're not doing a complete chassis removal. Normally I have a spare chassis kicking around so I can just swap everything over, but this here, I gotta clean it out. Easiest way I find is to scrape it all out first and then take it outside. I don't do this in the wintertime, obviously. I'll have the chassis, but then I'll take it outside with the Varsol and a can of brake clean and get the rest of the little shit out of it. But when I come back, it'll be all clean and we'll be assembling. Alright, after much scrubbing and cleaning and brake clean and Varsol, we're clean. And we're just gonna put our 20 million weight into our center diff and let it sit for an hour or two and have some supper. Grease the seals as I do all the time under the seal, under the seals and the pressure ring. Differentials are done. That's basically cleaned up over there. I might put some HD arms on the rear. Oh, that is all HD, but I got some red ones I think I might put on. And that'll be it. And we'll get this center diff here. That's the only thing I'm waiting on, is this oil's in here. We'll let that fill up. Cool stuff, eh? It's about 20 Celsius, 28 Celsius here tonight. So that should settle down pretty quickly, actually. So, see you in a minute. Alright, well, I kind of screwed up. Kind of thought that this nice hot day, it's about 3 hours after I made the last little insert of this video, and I just jammed that 20 million in there. I got a bunch of air bubbles stuck underneath it and it wouldn't settle down, so I've been poking a screwdriver in there to get the air out, and she's about set there now. So note to self, normally what I do is I spool it up into little spaghettis and I drop them in there just so that it'll settle better, but she's pretty well settled up there now, so I'll bolt it together and we'll get to shimming some diff gears. Alright, so drop that down in there, screw that on, front's all on, and I just finished up my mesh. Well, that looks pretty good. That's tighter. They always seem to have that one little spot where it just gets right there. No, nothing. So you can, because there it's, yeah, I like it. This is a double grub screw, one on 180 degrees apart from each other. It's an arm of grub screw. We'll see if it stays tight this time. There's my improvised gear cover, which kind of works nicely because I didn't know that the distance it actually cut this out to. You can see there where it was wearing. When the pinion came loose, it backed out, but it hit right here and held it from falling off. So that's kind of cool. All right. Oh, and if anybody's wondering what these tie wraps are here on the motor, that's my temp sensor. That's why I'm running the Traxxas Electronics or radio. Can't seem to get the Futaba telemetry system to work yet. If anybody's got a fix for that, I would appreciate that. Just gonna button up our 16 bolts for our chassis brace. highly recommend getting the motor washers. It really helps hold the for adjustment, especially if you're using the stock motor. Not so much for this, but it helps so the motor doesn't pull through. So we're just changing our ride package. Seeing as we're a little lighter, I think I can run my dual rate progressive Proline shocks rather than stock Traxxas shock or springs, and then yeah, progressive spring package. I got these dividers machined at a local machine shop instead of the plastic. Worried that the cold weather here was going to break them. Getting them all black already. I like to try to keep them clean at least till I'm done assembling. Would be nice. So much easier to do maintenance on these when they're off, in my opinion. Just set my ride package up. Something there, that screw. Running the M2C extended hubs on this truck too. If I didn't mention that already. So there, fronts are done. The rears are going to put these blue parts on the rear, so front will be red and the back will be blue instead of black and blue, which is what I was doing all the time. The black and blue rip. And I gotta switch out my dust covers to the new shocks and put another set of springs on these. Nice having a spare set of shocks, because then you can save a little bit of time cleaning. I'll clean those after I'm done putting this thing back together. Alright, she's all back together. Solved a few problems. Got a new ride package on it. Changed the color, but that's not a big deal. Had HD on it front and back. Just the other HD was black as far as the arms. No cracks or anything in the dual tie bar, so that's been in for over 2 years now, and it's holding up good with this heavy bugger. So we got a new ride package. We got our mesh set up nice. We got the new radio in it. And tightened up. The center diff was pretty worn out, so it should eliminate my front wheels from ballooning. And we got some new gears in it, fresh oil in those, fresh shock oil. She's a complete rebuild. So we'll just get the bumpers and wheels and we'll take her for a rep, see how she goes. Alright guys, just watching NASCAR. We did a tire change. I did a preliminary run with my back flips on, just to make sure I didn't have any screws loose, but I have screws loose. Not in the truck. Alright. Hope everything's in view good. So I'm not sure if you can see that, but that's a 3S battery run off a micro switch, which is hooked up to my channel 3. And my China Hobbyline 9500s. Servo chattering away. I have that channel 3 hooked up to the light as well as the fans. It's a reminder for me to turn the fans on. So with the back flips on, it was temps were really good, but they're only a 600 gram tire, where these are 900s almost, 870 I believe, and it's 30 degrees cooler today than in my last tests, so it should work better anyways. But I think my rule of thumb is going to be lose 2 teeth on my pinion gear for when I want to run the trenchers. Too much. Oh, and I broke my back bumper. Oh. Break my latch too. Nope. What the hell did I do here? Definitely a different kick with the trenchers on. Definitely. Way more punchy. Way more punchy. Oh, it's mental. You're getting some full throttle there now. Oh, it's nutso. Wow. Let's go put that screw back in my bumper, I guess. See what our data logs say. That XLX still, she puts out a lot of jamba lamba. Holy cow. I'll have to definitely get used to it again. All the little changes all the time. And I seem to drive worse when I'm on camera, too. See if the ESC fan is on this time. No. And the motor's nice and cool. I might be alright with that gearing. Pulled that right out of there, right? That's it. M2C front extended hubs, HD arms all the way around. You know the drill. Yeah, I think we got her pretty good now. Just pulled a screw out of my back bumper. I think I hurt anything here. No. Okay, let's get a look at the logs. Just hooking up. Logging. Upload. Let's see what we got here. That 3S battery I was telling you about, it's not a one-timer, the one that I fire my fans with. It actually fits nicely in the front of my TRX4s, so I can have a little bit better weight distribution. I don't like getting single-time use things or items that I can't use for other things, I guess. All right. Oh, look at that. 400 amps, but that's going to be way over here in this one, I think. 13, almost 14 horse. Yeah, way higher. So this is the first log over here. Temps are still ESC. The fan didn't even come on. Motor, see that? 103. RPMs are good. 388 amps. That's just the trenchers brings it up 150 amps, the extra weight. That's insane how much. But it's almost 4 pounds added to the vehicle, and it's rotating mass, right? So you got to watch running them trenchers, I'm telling you. But man, are they ever a fun tire. So I got a 27 tooth coming in, so I'm going to try it. Should be here Monday, Tuesday, and we'll do a little run video with that too. car. Oh no. Starting to get the hang of it now. And again, not. Oh. Trying to turn it with the front wheels up in the air to see if the little jog will steer it when it's wheeling. Well, I think that's enough for this video. Can't go by the ramp without jumping. And didn't break nothing again. Doing something wrong, I guess. I definitely get my mileage out of my bumpers, alright? Look at that. Almost see-through. Alright. Alright, so The reason I'm doing all this testing with trenchers, here's a little example of what the X-Maxx weighs currently with the trenchers on it and the mods. So that's 24 pounds essentially with trenchers, one turbo fan, the XLX, the 1717. So now we'll drop a battery on, another battery on, and our third battery. Now check it out. We're at 27.9 pounds. Hold it. We haven't put a body on it yet. So now we drop our body on, and this X-Maxx is 30 pounds. That's a heavy X-Maxx considering they're 21 pounds out of the box. So I'm trying to make it so it's powerful enough that it can right itself and durable enough that it stays together. So I've been trying to knock some of that weight off. And I knocked about half a pound off. This was the old fan setup I had on it. I only have one of these turbo fans on it now. So we lost this, which is 100 grams. And the motor combo itself, with the motor and, here we go, this here, hobby wing that was in it, this is 150 grams less. So there's almost a half a pound that I've lost off of it. And the main reason for this is because I'm trying to make it durable and self-righting for myself because I have a hard time walking. So I took it out for another rip after, just to get the durability and a little more data on it. Took it for a longer rip, and we got 125 Fahrenheit on the ESC and 142 on the motor. So it's okay. I'm not sure if it'll hold for hard bashing, so I'm going to drop it down to 2 teeth like I was saying earlier. And yeah, we'll see how it works out over at the bash sessions with everybody, with the boys. So that's the gist of what I'm doing here. The trenchers are heavy tires, but you gotta really gear accordingly, and they are a ball. So that's it. Peace out, and I'll keep you posted on how this Castle 1721 and 1260 kV is working out. Adios.